Great to have you with us. I am Daniel Dazi. To begin with, Auditor-General Daniel Yao Domelevo has said the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, should not accept any support from the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation. This follows a revelation which has put the GNPC under fire for 2 million cedi budget donation and sponsorship of some public functions. A memo showed that various amounts were given to the First Lady's Foundation, Rebecca Foundation, the Ghana Journalists Association, and the celebration of the Ochehene's 20th anniversary. The memo, dated 29th October 2019 from the Chief Executive to the Board Secretary, indicated that the donations and sponsorship had been approved by the GNPC Board upon a recommendation by Brand Communication and CSR Committee of GNPC. Here's a full list of planned donations and sponsorships on your screen. It begins with 2019 Damba Festival preparation, Dagbon State, 400,000 Ghana cedis. Also, 20th anniversary of Chehine, 500,000 Ghana cedis over 3 years, totaling 1.5 million Ghana cedis for the environment and greening. 300,000 Ghana cedis for the organization of the 20th anniversary celebrations themselves. Also, Ghana Journalists Association, 50,000 Ghana cedis. Ghana Boxing Association, $30,000. Rebecca Foundation, 120,000 Ghana cedis. Now, the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, received 550,000 Ghana cedis. The GNPC has justified its board's approval of the nearly 2 million cedis for various corporate social responsibility initiatives at a recent meeting. General Manager Sustainability at GNPC, Kwame Banyako, explains the approvals are very much in line with the corporation's CSR objectives. He spoke on Top Story on Joy FM.
These are part of the process of GNPC, the board subcommittee on brands, communication, and CSR. Some of the activities are purely advertising opportunities for GNPC. So, for instance, Ghana Journalists Association, as part of their GGA awards, will go out to organizations who advertising space in their brochures and for stated benefits. So they came to GNPC. They brought a proposal, we reviewed it, went through corporate affairs, reviewed it, made a recommendation to the board on an opportunity for us to advertise GNPC. So that's purely an advertising opportunity. Similar case is the Ghana Boxing Association as well. It's purely advertising opportunity for GNPC. And the board has the power and the right to determine how they are going to market the image of GNPC. So basically, for those two, Rebecca Foundation, an amount of 120,000 Ghana cedis. It's to support 2 women's groups as part of our economic empowerment activities within the Western region, specifically in the Mpoko West, to set up 2 oil palm milling plantations in the Western region. One for the Nyame Insa Women Oil Palm Processing Association and a Dumbansu Women Oil Processing Association. Of course, anybody can decide whether they feel GNPC should be supporting women's groups. But we are in the Western region as part of our corporate social investment.
On that, Dr. Banyako, you acknowledge the concern there about conflict of interest and whether this particular allocation was done purely based on merit or because of patronage.
Well, I think anybody can make such arguments, but I can assure you that GNPC is made up of very well-meaning Ghana. This process begins with my unit, which is the corporate affairs unit. The request would have come through the chief executive. The chief executive would have referred it to the corporate affairs unit. My team would then review the various sponsorship requests that will come in to find out whether it even falls in line with any of our stated objectives. Once we feel there's a case, then we would have forwarded it to the board subcommittee on brands, communications, and CSR. If they feel that there's any worthy project to be supported, then they will forward it to the main board. I think it goes through a process that in the past few years or so has been well documented, and the outcome of the initiatives that GNPC has undertaken, especially in our corporate social investment activities, are documented even in the PIAC report of 2018. which talks about the fact that we have done value for money and make sure that the impact is great. So I think there is enough evidence to suggest that.
And so you say that if the wife of former President John Mahama sends a request for you to sponsor her foundation, you will do so?
I think there are records to show that we've done that in the past.
Now, the Auditor-General believes it is not right for the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, to receive any support from the GNPC. He spoke with me on the Super Morning Show a while ago.
I'm not very sure whether EOCO has collected money from them or not. But being an oversight institution like mine, I would say no, I won't go near it at all. There is no way that GNPC can come and say, Auditor General, get 20 Ghana cedis, and I will accept it. Because, you see, as an oversight body, you must not only be independent, but must be seen as independent.
Okay.
So if an oversight body is partaking in the booty and goes back to provide oversight, who will trust them? They may even do professional work, but they've compromised, jeopardized their independence, which I think has to be avoided. I'm not very sure whether they collected it, so that's why I say I'm assuming what you are saying is correct. But I think that is not a way to go. For instance, if I'm partaking from the money in GNPC and I go back and audit them, will you believe the findings that I bring? Will you say that I'm very independent in the opinion that I may be expressing? That is why we should not go there. Let me make a quick point here. The board has right to make decisions. But one of the things the board must have to understand that they can only make decisions within the ambit of the law. The Constitution, which is the supreme law of Ghana, under Article 178, says you can use public funds only the way that is prescribed or allowed by the law. So maybe during an audit, we will interrogate to find out whether the laws of GNPC allows the money to be used that way. If not, then I think it may not be a right thing. So yes, there are administrative structures like boards and management, etc., who take decision. But one thing I would like to advise them about is that every time they should try and make sure they are within the law. If the law does not permit it, then I think it's a no.
If my understanding of the law is that I can use this for cultural diversity or I can use it to promote Ghanaian lifestyle in some way, then I can go ahead and make such a donation.
So if I think I'm promoting cultural diversity by giving the money to my family or friends for personal business, should that be allowed? So that is why the supreme law of this country, the Constitution, has put in place the requirement that the court or the Supreme Court interpret the Constitution for all of us. So if in the course of our audit, for instance, and we don't agree, we are going to disallow the expenditure and surcharge and tell you to go to court and let's go and get interpretation from the court. Because if we allow individuals to interpret the law, I think it's going to be an anarchy. Everybody has got his selfish interest, and for that matter may say that is national interest. In fact, when people are appropriating public funds to their personal use, they see it as serving national interest. So that is a bit disturbing.